Congratulations, guys. Another season of this show. I mean, when you hear 26 seasons, how does that feel?
Crazy. Feels crazy.
It's amazing.
I mean, I remember when we were trying to get to 21. We were at 15, and I was with Dick Wolf, and he said, 21 was the record. I said, we're gonna do 25.
Let's go.
And he was like, okay. So he always says that. He said, I remember Ice told me we'd do 25. So now I'm saying we're gonna do 30.
Yeah. The bond and the friendships on this cast, I know, are so tight. When you return for a new season, do you guys just pick up right where you left off?
Yeah, I'd say, it's a lot of how the kids, we all go our separate ways, for the hiatus, and you come back, you find out what everybody was up to, ask how the tour went, what the kids were up to, you know, how my kids' soccer went, all that stuff, and then it's just like, right back in, like you pick up where you left off. I mean, we see each other more than we see our families a lot of times because you're here all the time and we are super close, so it's great. It's one of those relationships where you can step away, come back, get right into it.
Right.
Let me say something though, it takes about a day to get back to acting. Because acting uses a muscle in your brain that you don't use normally unless you're a great liar or you're cheating on somebody, where you have to keep a whole bunch of stuff in your brain that's not true. So you have to warm that muscle up, and it takes a minute to learn how to do it, to load a scene into your head and then spit out. Because in normal life, you don't do it.
Right.
So it takes, that first day is...
Right. Well, to go from wearing, tank top and flip-flops to putting on a suit and...
Well, I saw that little Chanel came to set.
Yes.
She was so cute.
Yes.
She looked like she had a ball.
Oh, behind the scenes Law and Order. Someone's trying to take Daddy's job. This is Daddy's office.
After COVID, we weren't allowed to bring kids or dogs or anything here. Before that, this was a family set, and finally we've been able, Peter's kids came recently, and it's cool, but at COVID, we had a whole new protocol. And so she was like, when am I gonna come on TV, Daddy? And, to see the people, because she saw him as a baby, but it was fun. Everybody treated her real good. She had a blast.
She is so cute. Is she back to school? What's going on?
Third grade.
Third grade. I think I saw Coco post the photo.
Crying.
Is Dad proud?
Yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. I deal with it differently, but Coco cried. It was funny, I was talking to Mariska yesterday, and she was talking about she dropped her son off at college, and it had her almost crying, or so I told Coco, I said, you're gonna feel the same way when she goes to college. It's that mother thing.
Yeah. I don't know a show really where the characters mean so much to the fans. When people see you guys in public, what is one of the more memorable fan moments that you've had?
You go.
Sometimes they're great moments, and people come and they tell you how much this means to them, and they'll tell you a little, story about their own life and how the show applies to that, and you feel, just that the greater sense of yourself and how that fits. And then sometimes they're just funny, and they'll be like, I don't even like you, and they'll still want to take a photo with you or whatever. It's all over the place.
I remember one time we were in Harlem, and this little black girl, she was like, Ice-T, your hair is butters. This is when I had my perm. And then she said, your hair is butters. She said, where Munch? Where Mariska? Where that white man with all them kids? That was her reference point. It was me, Munch, Mariska.
Stop.
And Chris was that white man with all them kids. So I was like, yo.
We gotta get that little girl on the show.
She probably grown now. This was early in Law and Order. But I love how different people see the show.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people got their start on this show. People like Sabrina Carpenter, Timothy Chalamet, Jeremy Allen White. Do you guys remember any of those people's first times on the show?
I remember some of them. I mean, it's crazy. That's why when people come on this show, I don't remember those names particularly, but I know when people come on the show, especially kids, I always say, now when you get your Oscar, remember, you kicked it with me, baby. Throw me a little lob up there when you're standing up there, because we get the best actors. I've worked with SpongeBob from the guy
that voices it.
No, the guy who does the Broadway show. Okay. He was on the
SpongeBob.
show.
I worked with Aladdin, the Prince of Aladdin. The genie. I always ask them, I'm like, you can are you from Broadway? They go, yeah. I'm like, you can sing, huh? They break into tune. But no, I mean, we're lucky. I mean, we're lucky, man. We have the best actors.
No, it is cool when you see somebody and you go, maybe this person, because they're very good and, you know, young. And, you know, when you come on and it's one of your first jobs, you're like, oh, I have to stand here. There's all these kind of technical things you have to learn. And so it's always interesting when they don't know that yet, but you can just tell they have so much talent. And you're like, all right, that person will be all right, or just the way they conduct themselves.
And then they go off and become movie stars and leave us here.
Yeah. And then they don't text you back, they don't answer your calls.
And then they change their number.
And you get sad.
Well, Peter, this is a question for you. This is the last question. So Mariska told me last year that she has never seen an actor like Ice that can fully fall asleep, take a snooze, in between takes, and then in 2 seconds be in character. So you've shot 5 episodes. Has he taken any naps on set yet?
It's not like a deep sleep, but it's not a way. It's just shut it down, muster all energy, and then bring it back up. So
that's exactly how I do it. Exactly. You know, Dick Wolf actually has film of me doing it.
I know, and we tried to get that footage last year when you guys talked about this.
It was from Players.
We need footage.
But see, what it was, I was off camera. I wasn't on camera, I was off camera. So I knew my cues, and it was late night. We were shooting like 3 in the morning, and it was Costas Mandelaar and Frank Hughes, and they were acting, and I would just doze, and then I would hear my cue, I'd get up and I'd say it. So I was so asleep, they turned the camera on me real slow. I didn't even know, and they shot the whole take of me doing it. But you know, hey, it's a skill set.
It's a skill set.
26 years later, who's laughing?
Yeah.